Many people in the church teach on prayer, dwelling on the efficacy of their requests. And we have sermons on those. That's important. Favor in prayer, importunity in prayer. But can I tell you something? It's not just the technique. What makes prayer efficacious is who is asking. Are you getting what I'm saying? Listen to me. By the grace of God, I pay school fees for some people who are not my children. And I pay school fees for my children. One is benevolence, the other is responsibility. There's a difference. So, the context of who is asking changes the dynamics, and it changes the audacity. If somebody begins to pressure me, who is not my child, you've not paid the school fees, what kind of man are you? I say, come, you don't be proud though. Shift back first. Are you getting what I'm saying? But if I pay school fees for my children, it's my duty. It's my duty. Are you getting the difference? So who is asking? So Jesus is saying, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And when they replied, he now said, and I say to you, the revelation of Christ will always reveal who you are in him. Are you getting what I'm saying? And these two things are important. So now, I started a discourse yesterday and I want to frame it well. The spirit realm operates in three ways. There are three systems of operations. And I'm defining our relationship with God. It operates as a family. Can you say family? Now that's the biggest and most important one. It operates as a kingdom. Can you say kingdom? It operates as a courtroom. I explained that one to you yesterday. Do you remember it? I said, in the realm of the spirit, there is a judge. God is judge. There is an advocate. Jesus is our advocate. There is an accuser. There is a law. Perfect courtroom system. But now I want to explain it in this way. You see, these three things are actually one. Let me explain it. I kept praying, on how to explain it, and I came up with an idea. How many of you ever read about the Mongol Empire? Those of you who are history students, or you have heard of it, wave at me. All right. How many of you have heard of Genghis Khan? All right. So that's the Mongol Empire. Okay? Now, he had a very big empire and divided it into provinces and put his children in charge of those provinces. Come on, are you getting what I'm saying? One of them in Central Asia, he just divided them for his children. Now, they now had what they called an imperial council. It was called Koryutai or something like that. I can't really pronounce it. But an imperial council. So now these governors, who are also children, will come together to decide on legislature, on economy, on different things. So now they have both a professional, formal, and an informal structure at the same time. This is the dynamic of the kingdom. So when they come together, it's a courtroom, but it is also a family, and it is also a kingdom. This is important. If you don't understand what I just told you, these are the things that give you legality when it comes to prayer. And all these three dynamics are reflected in Matthew chapter 16 that we just read. We will touch them one after the other as quickly as I can. So the family dynamic, all right? Let me start by reading three texts that you know very well. John chapter 12 verse 24. Then John chapter 20 verse 17. And Hebrews chapter 2 verse 10. John 12 24. John 20 17. Hebrews 2 10. So starting with John 12 24. Jesus is saying, verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abides alone. But if it dies, it brings forth much fruit. I can't tell you how important and significant this is, especially when it comes to clarity in understanding where you are in God's assignment for your life. Because you see, Jesus was at the peak of his earthly ministry in his incarnation. You just raised the man who was dead for 4 days. According to Jewish tradition, only God could raise someone who had been dead for more than 3 days. His fame spread abroad. Even the Greeks were now seeking him, meaning he had gotten to a point in his ministry where he was getting international invites. Oh my God. You know, there are unspoken rules. When they start inviting you to London, to US, you know that the ministry, where was it? But Jesus was not impressed. Not only was he not impressed, he was going to that was a distraction. Not every door is God's door. It doesn't matter how much attention you are getting. Stick to the script. Jesus knew in the incarnation, I am not sent but to the lordship of the house of Israel. Are you getting what I'm saying? There will be time for all those other regions, but in the resurrection. So this is how we replied. Except a corn of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it abides alone. But if it dies, it bears forth much fruit. Jesus knew that his greatest achievement in ministry would be occasioned by death. He knew that. He knew that. All these territories, there will be time for them. But first, I must die and rise again. And when I die and rise again, now I'm the only son of God. But now I will bring forth much fruit. Are you getting what I'm saying? So I'm explaining sonship to you, the family dynamic, how God is no longer just God, he's now daddy. So let's move on. After the resurrection, the woman came to the tomb. You know the story. And Jesus said in John chapter 20 verse 17, touch me not, for I have not yet ascended to my Father. But I go, he says, but go to the brethren and say to them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, my God and your God. There is an immediate change in the relationship with God right now. Because you see, that was one of the things that perplexed people. Jesus spoke about God with such familiarity, called him daddy. If you study the book of John well, you know that was one of the major reasons they killed Jesus. How dare you call him daddy? And now, upon the resurrection, not only is he my Father, he's your Father too. I go to my Father and your Father, my God and your God. Come on, listen. Oh, Jesus. That's what Hebrews 2 verse 10 tells us. This was his plan all along. He says, for it was fitting for him, who are all things, by whom are all things, in bringing many sons to glory. Now, glory was theological language for resurrection. You know that, right? Luke chapter 24 verse 25. Fools, slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not Christ to have suffered these things and to enter his glory? So the suffering, the cross, the burial, his glory, the resurrection. All right? So when it says he brought many sons to glory, it means that in the resurrection we become partakers in his sonship. Amen, somebody. This alone has changed the context of your requests. If you're working for somebody, he's your boss. Then one day he draws out one paper and says, if you choose to sign this paper, these are the papers of adoption, you will be my son. In that same family, the context has changed. And there are some things you can now... I think I have my wife's permission to say this. So, One of our dear daughters is adopted. We love her very much. And now, she was in our family all this while. It was a professional relationship. She was working with us. We were caretakers. But one day, we just kept falling in love with her and we decided to adopt her. Now, it took me time to get her to adjust with the program.